there's a different agenda with a historical film than there is with an investigative film or something like that. So the approach of a director is different in that regard. But for me, I love talking heads. I really hate that the idea of talking heads is considered to be a pejorative. And for me, the characters are what makes the movie. So I really try to build a bond with these people as characters.
Yeah, no, I think the bond is what's really important. Ondi, I was interested in feeding the lines. It's really never worked for me. I mean, how do you do it? What's the exact technique to get them?
What I do is I get them to express it in their own words, whatever it is. Well, I ask them a question, and then we talk about something. And then when I get to, like, we live in public, for example. Josh Harris very much had his own way of expressing things, but it was not good for voiceover. And I needed him to talk about his mother abandoning him when he was young. So we wove around it and went around it and went around it. It was never something I knew I could use in the edit, to the point where I was like, here's kind of what I was thinking as from spending time with this footage that you were feeling. Am I close with this? You know, is this a good diagnosis of what you were feeling? And then he'd say, yeah, that's pretty much true. I said, well, would you say that?
Actually, I mean,
it's like a police officer getting a confession.
Yeah, that's actually never worked for me, but I'm going to keep trying it. But one thing on those lines, sort of in the opposite direction, is I find sometimes if you want somebody to say something with real passion, you say the opposite of what you know they believe. And they go, no, not at all, and then they come back hard. So.
One time, and I'm going to show a clip from this film, but you're not going to see this part, but one time I was dealing with a cult leader, and I knew, and I had spent a couple weeks at a treatment center with the people who were in the cult, and I had met him yet, and suddenly I'm at these dinners and, you know, at his house, and I'm trying to get him to talk about what he's done to these children. And I could not figure out how, at every session I left there, and I'd call my mom and say, if I don't call you in 3 hours, call the police. And I was sure they're going to dose my food or whatever, and I would go through these sessions, and I'd get great stuff about the Bible and whatever, but I would never get that. So finally, I just said, do you have any advice for me? I cannot get my 2-year-old to behave. I just don't know what to do. And he said, Deborah, go get the fly swatter. And he had his wife go and get the fly swatter, and he said, hold out your hand. You know, oh no, he said, whack my hand. And I whacked his hand, and he said, I can't even feel that. Do it again. You know, it was like amazing. He acted it out. So that kind of thing, like asking advice is another way, or coming against, or sometimes directly confronting them. Like
Provocation.
By the end of the film, I said, I understand that you hit them with a rod. And he went,